Those were two good claps. All right, welcome everyone. As you know or may not know, Tempest has been buffed. The question is it any good though? And this is what we're here to find out. So, I want to start things off with a... here, you can watch these two fight. I want to start things off by saying that I just tried rushing Tempests. This is the new upgrade. You guys can't see it because of my web camera. Tectonic destabilizers. So basically, I just tried this upgrade in one-on-ones, and I tried rushing them. So I tried to play against Terran, and I rushed it, and it literally did nothing. I killed an add-on faster, but that's about it. So there's no point rushing this upgrade. It's obviously an upgrade for the late game, and then I tried it against Zerg, and that went even worse. So it's definitely a thing you don't upgrade in the early game. And what it does is it costs 150 for 100-second research in what's it called? Fleet Beacon. And what it does is improves the Tempest Resonance Coil, aka weapon, to deal plus 40 damage versus structure. So, only versus structure. So, instead of testing this in an actual game, because it's kind of impossible, like you would need to get in a specific split map situation, and you would need to have like Vipers yoinking your Tempest and feedbacking, all that jazz. So I wanted to kind of figure out what does this actually do in terms of how many shots does it take to kill stuff, and how good it actually is at, you know, changing things up, right? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna set up red side without upgrades, blue side with upgrades on Tempests, and I'm gonna put +3 weapons on both sides, because I feel like that's, you know, if this is an upgrade you get into the late game, having +3 weapons is probably realistic, right? So, yeah, let's do it. Clear. Let's add 5 Tempests on one side, 5 Tempests on the other side, and let's just add 1 worker from each race. Let me get +3 weapons on both sides. And then, where's the ability? No, don't tell me there's... Am I blind? Wait, maybe I need to build a fleet beacon, because it's not here, but maybe they haven't updated it. Okay, hopefully you can build it at a fleet beacon, because it's definitely not here. And then I'll add Terran workers, Zerg workers. Okay, both sides have +3. Perfect. Okay, let me see. I really hope so. Otherwise. Because it's in the game when you click the Tempest here. Okay, it's here. Okay, it's working. Woo! So this should deal 92. Wait, does it count in the damage itself? Oh yeah, it does. Okay, 92 damage. It's working. Perfect. So, this is how we're gonna test this. Very simple. Let's try some less interesting ones. So, Pylon, Gateway, Nexus, why not? Pylon, Gateway, Nexus, what else? Cannon, Shield Battery. Shield Battery, Cannon. I mean, I think that's pretty much it. Like, if late game PvP comes down to this, I feel like that's kind of what you're gonna be killing or attempting to kill, or just kill in general, like pylons, cannons, skill batteries, and Nexus. I just added a gate for the sake of it. So, let's see. I'm gonna pull the workers away on the bottom sides, so I know they're used up. So we have 5 Tempests here with +3. And we'll just assume this is some kind of situation where it's split map and we're trying to poke. So I can actually just shoot, red can shoot at his own buildings. That's actually easier, so there's no auto attacking. So 5 Tempest versus Shield Battery. Okay, it stays on 43. And I'm pretty sure this is gonna demolish. Let me actually try with 4. Okay, so 4 Tempests with the upgrade, both units having +3 weapons, are enough to kill a shield battery, and here with 5 Tempest you need an extra shot. So the difference for skill batteries, it's 6 Tempest on the red side without the upgrade and 4 on the other side. Let's try the same thing with cannon. I don't know what the HP difference actually is. Oh, they have same HP. So again, boom, it's gonna be on 1 shot, and on this side you only need 4 to 1 shot skill battery or a cannon. I mean, the difference is pretty big, I would say. 4 versus 6 in the late game. For an upgraded you can just get, like, this is not one of those upgrades that's gonna make or break the game, right? Like, I don't think this is something you're gonna get, and a game you should have won, you're gonna lose if you didn't get the upgrade, or vice versa. Like a losing game, you're gonna get this and win, but it will help for sure. What about shield upgrade? I don't think it matters because the shield battery and the cannon stayed on like 30 plus health. So let's kill off the cannon. The pylon has 400 health, so 5 Tempests, boom, stays in yellow at 142, and with the upgrade, it's actually gonna kill it. Wow. Let's do it again. Wow, okay, so how many Tempests would I need? Let me build another pylon here. So 5 shots only got it to like 70-80% yellow. Okay, so I'm gonna shoot here. Boom. So 8 Tempests, because I shot 5 and then 2 and then 1 was overkill. So 8 Tempest shots to kill a pylon, and on the other side you have 5. That's actually quite a big difference. So for some buildings this will be much closer, but for some buildings the difference will be quite high depending how much you overkill. And then last we have gateway. Boom. This is obviously gonna take 4 shots, I think. 3, 4, yep. And on this side it should take I'm pretty sure it's gonna also take maybe 3 actually. Let's see. 1. Oh. Oh my god. So if you actually had 6 Tempests, you would have 2-shot the gateway. And on this side, 5 Tempests needed 4 shots to kill it. I mean, that's quite a big difference. Let's see, Nexus. Oh, this is gonna take quite a while. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here is gonna be like 4. It's gonna be 5. Yeah, it's gonna be 5. But if you had 6, it would be... See, this is what I mean. You almost kill it here, but you actually overkill it quite a bit with the 5th shot. Okay, so obviously the difference is going to be super important, I feel like, with low HP buildings, no matter what race you play against. Because the higher HP building, I feel like it matters more, but it matters less at the same time. Because whether you shoot it 5 times or like 6, 7 times versus big buildings is not a big difference. But the difference on small buildings, whether you 1-shot or 2-shot, is quite big. Yeah, it's almost twice the damage. It goes from 52 to 92. So yeah. Now let's try what this change was actually made for. And it's made for PvZ. So Blizzard's basically what they said was they wanted to buff the Tempest with this to help with the spore clearing in PvZ late game, like spore forests they even called it. So let's do first of all, let's do a queen on each side, pump and inject. Okay, I'm just gonna make some spines, we'll make a bunch of spores, and we'll start the testing. I realistically think, like, I'm not gonna obviously test in PvZ like how long it takes to kill a spawning pool or roach warren, like that's irrelevant. I'm gonna test spine crawlers, and then I'm gonna instantly go to test spores, because again, that's what it's about in the first place. So let's do it. All right. Spine crawler has the same HP as cannons and shield batteries, so this should have same results. Takes 6 shots, and this should take 4 shots. Yep. Okay. So same results there. I was wondering if there like a regen is gonna mess it up somehow from the spines. Nope. So. Five spores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. So how long? They have 400 HP, so this is like a pylon basically. So it's going to take... How many shots was it? That was 8 shots to kill a spore. Meanwhile on this side, you need 5 shots. So from 8 to 5 on the spores is quite big. Now someone in my stream made an argument earlier that you're only going to need 5 Tempests to kill spores. And while that's true in the perfect case scenario, if you make only 5 Tempests and then, you know, a few of them get yoinked, you're still gonna be in the same situation where you can't one-shot the spores. So I feel like you're still going to need overmake quote-unquote Tempest. You're still gonna need to make 7, 8 to make this worth it. Otherwise, you're just risking of getting yoinked, losing a Tempest, and then you're, you know, not one-shotting again. So one thing I want to try is, I don't know if I can actually succeed in this. So what I want to try is to see DPS-wise, what's the difference between these. Let me actually put them a bit back. This is going to be maybe a little bit weird, but I hope it works. Okay, are you guys ready? I want to see how long it takes to kill 5 spores if you just auto-attack. So it's a more realistic situation, because that's what you would do if you had the opportunity to free farm the spores. Okay, they're pretty much on the same point. Blue side was a little bit ahead. Yikes. This puts it in perspective, actually. So, you killed 2.5 on this side, meanwhile the other side cleared it fully. Like, this actually puts it quite a bit in perspective. Would it be any difference in the early game with no upgrades? There's no point where you would want this actually in the early game. But... okay, I was memeing on this upgrade because I was trying it in the early game in my games. But this is something you're definitely gonna get in PvZ late game. Like, for sure. Because it will make these stalemates where the Zerg is just, you know, walling off with like bajillion spores like this and then putting infestors and vipers and corruptors in between. So the moment you distract the Zerg, you're going to be able to clean up so many spores with Tempest that I feel like it might actually make a difference. Still, I don't think it's going to maybe make a difference between winning or losing the game, but it will definitely help you. Let's try with a little bit more, just to see how fast you can clear them. Okay, let's try the same thing as it worked out previously. I thought it was well timed at least. Okay.
Your end has come. Vengeance is ours. Feel our fury.
Alright, so I know I attack with these closer first, but they're gonna have to move anyway, so it doesn't really change much. And also, the red ones were a bit off. but yeah, I mean it literally comes down to twice as fast, guys, regarding the clearing. And technically you could obviously just add more Tempests, but the point is, in the late game in PvZ you don't want to have 10 Tempests, you know, you want to have between maybe 5 and 7. So even if 2 get yoinked, you still have enough. But I mean, they're killing twice as fast, right? The damage is not quite twice as much, but regarding spores, which is what this was aimed at, it pretty much checks out. Now let me kill the rest of these. How many shots does it require for a hatchery? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Let's see what 5 on this side. Because the HP might be different. It's gonna be 4. Yeah, like I said, the higher HP building, the less difference in attacks. But it's quite big for the lower HP buildings. The last thing I want to try and test is the missile turrets and command centers. Because I feel like that's the only thing versus Terran, right? What else do you really gotta check? I'm gonna get planetary. Where's the SC on this side? Come here. And then I'll give my closing thoughts on these weird ass Tempests. And also these ones shoot yellow balls, so I mean there's that. Tech labs, I mean you're not really gonna be sniping tech labs in the late game. More likely you're gonna snipe the whole army or just kill the barracks. Alright, missile turrets. Alright, how much HP? 250. Okay, so you need 5 with no building upgrades to one-shot a missile turret. Technically you can do it with 4 and they'll end up burning, but you know, if you don't want to risk repairing, then that's how it is. On this side, 4 definitely kill it. Can you do it with 3? Ooh, okay, that's interesting. So you only need 2 to set them on fire, but 3 one-shot. 3, I feel like, is a very low number to just one-shot a defensive structure. So I feel like this is quite nice, to be honest. Because you outrange Terran units already, right, with the Tempests. Technically, you know, you can get teleported by BC and stuff. But if you're in a stalemate situation where you're split, you can pick off the buildings quite fast. How much for a bunker? I'll check that. Although I don't know how often you're gonna get in a situation where, you know, you're gonna be sniping bunkers in the late game. But let's check it out. So 8 shots on this side. Oh yeah, it's 400 health. So like pylon. Yeah, it's like a pylon. 8 shots on this side and 5 shots on this side. And the last thing is the planetary fortress. This is pretty much like a hatchery, except you're gonna have armor included as well. So it's gonna go down a little bit slower, actually. Let me try with a armor upgrade, because I think that's also more realistic, right?
Upgrade
on both sides.
Go ahead, huh? In the rear with the gear.
Okay, so now it has 5 armor. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not quite, 7. So let's say, I mean, it is 7 shots with the 5 Tempest. If you do it with 6, it's probably 5 shots, if I'm not mistaken. On this side, I feel like it's gonna go down much faster. Oh my god. Like, this is the crazy part, guys. Not the fact that like 5 Tempests are gonna kill it that fast, but this is the crazy part. Imagine if you have 8 Tempests in PvT late game, which is not uncommon, right? Look at this. You almost two-shot the crit. Oh my god. Look at this. So with 9 you would two-shot for sure. That's crazy. I know, like, the amount of situations you're gonna get in where you're just gonna go around and snipe CCs and planters. I mean, maybe in the late game actually, if there's no sensor tower, you can sneak in and pop it real quick and get out. But do Tempests have more DPS than a carrier versus buildings? I would assume so, yeah. Actually, that's a good point. Let's try that. They have to. There's no way the carrier's gonna out DPS, right? Let's try with Nexus first, and then we'll try with CCs on the bottom because they have armor. That's actually a good point, though. All right, let's see. Okay, they're still making interceptors. Let's give them a moment. Yeah, with our... Whoa, whoa, whoa! You guys are friends. What are you doing? Okay, let me get them to attack at the same time. Well... 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 I mean... Okay. Let's try with Orbital, because they have... Actually, let's try with Planetars, because they're going to have 5 armor. So that's going to be different. No, 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 stop! You, stop! Kill that one. Should be 6 Tempests for equal supply. 30... That's true. That's true, actually. That's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, 6 Tempest versus 5 Carrier, and that's equal supply. Alright. The Carrier still win. It's closer, but Carriers still win. But Carriers don't have the range, so Tempests are better. Unless you're like base trading and you just want to wipe out all the buildings. Yeah. Alright, let's test the last one. Versus Planetary. Now this is where Tempest should win. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the armor affects it so much. Look how slow they're killing it. Yeah, the armor makes a huge difference, and also this is gonna be a thing as well with Forge and having shield weapons, right? Because your buildings get shields. So it's actually very possible that carriers are gonna lose versus Protoss buildings too. Let me check. Versus Zerg buildings, carriers are definitely gonna be better.
Complete.
Okay, +3 shields on both sides. Let's check. 3, 2, 1. Ah, yeah, they're struggling, but now they're gonna catch up. They're gonna catch up. Look at that. Oh! All right. So carriers are more or less the same. Tempests are a bit faster versus shield buildings. Way slower on the carrier side versus planetaries, like Terran buildings in general. But planetary specifically because it has 5 armor. But against Zerg, carriers are gonna win. Are they fully upgraded? Yes, they're both +3 on each side. So, so again, I wish I was able to do this in a real game, in a real PvZ late game. but it's actually very, or much more rare to have those kinds of games today than, you know, a couple of months ago, just because of the changes that we're going through, Zerg nerfs and so on. But I do think that this upgrade is something that every Protoss player will get, especially versus Terran and Zerg. I don't know if you're really going to get it in PvP, because in PvP, even when you have stalemates, like where it's a split map, you're never going to have a moment where it's like, oh, I'm sniping his cannons or pylons, right? It's usually either Tempest versus Tempest with Oracle tagging, or just carrier versus carrier, or carriers running away from Tempest or something. It's never necessarily like building split map, but I do think this will be actually quite useful in PvZ and PvT. You know, if you're playing versus Bioterran and it's split map, or versus Making Terran and it just got to super late game. And I actually think it's the funny thing is it's stronger against Terran, but it's going to be more used against Zerg, or at least it was supposed to be more used against Zerg. So I don't think this will necessarily cause like imbalance problems. At least I don't think, but it would definitely help the Protoss. I mean, buff is a buff, right? So yeah. Anyway. If you guys are watching this on Twitch, thank you for watching. We're going to keep streaming. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think. And that's it. I don't think there's any other changes that I wanted to test from the newest patch. Like, we've been playing around with Void Rays, but it's more so like reduced cost and a little bit of speed added. So I've been playing around on ladder with them, but, you know, not much there. Anyway, if you guys are watching YouTube, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would like to see in one of the future videos, whether it's like something balance-wise or any kind of gameplay video. Twitch boys, just keep going.